Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a beautiful day to be creating with you. I am really excited about today's video because it is part 3 of a video series that I have been wanting to get on. And I'm going to go ahead and bring in the project that we're expanding on with this great technique of creating a 12 by 12 flip-flap interactive fold-out page. Okay, so our first layout is right here. It's this 2-page layout, and I know that mine looks a little different than with it being in page protectors, but I'm going to explain that later on. This actually goes with this, and all of these are made with our Cape Cod scrapbooking kit, and I'll put all the information to everything I use down in the comments of or down in the description and all of the video with links. All right, we're going to bring this in a bit. Okay, so I'm going to be making another single page that we're going to add to the 2 pages that I just shared. And this is from my trip last year to Maui, Hawaii. It was amazing adventure. But the picture shown here, and I want to share this. If you want to add something to your scrapbook, for me, I love to add historical facts about places I've been in, locations, and I often, if I haven't planned them ahead of time, I don't know. So I come home, I Google them, I look them up, and I found out, or I find out that I was in a place of significance. And this is Black Rock, and it is definitely a place of significance for the Hawaiian people. So I went ahead and looked that up, and I brought all my journaling in on a Microsoft Word document, and it is kind of small, but it is bold and it is legible, and sized it out. And then what I do is I'm going to cut it apart for this so we can kind of see through it instead of having one big box on this layout. So I cut them nice and thin, and then I numbered them in the order that I want them. So you can see I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to cut that part off anyway, so it helps me keep everything nice and organized while I'm doing my prep. But I went ahead and I got all the details of Black Rock, and I'll let you guys look it up for yourself. But one thing is every night at sunset, there will be a torch lit, and a cliff diver jumps off of this cliff in honor of one of Hawaii's greatest chiefs. And so I thought that was so good, and I wanted an intro to my sea turtle layout, but I wanted to include Black Rock with historic stuff. So we're going to go ahead and put this together. Now, to meet the theme of my other 2 prior pages, I am sticking with a framed layout page. So I've taken one of the, this is custom exclusive cardstock that you get only in the Scrapbook Workshop. So I love it. It's really, it's going to work perfectly for this. It brings in our entire color palette. And then behind that, I just have a 12 by 12 sheet of white daisy. I will not be gutting my white daisy. I never gut white daisy. I feel like it's, I don't love gutting paper anyway. I do it as a resource and a technique to extend. But for this one here, if it's white daisy, I don't gut it. But you could gut your paper if you decide to do a color replacement, or if you just like to. All right, so I have a border all the way around this, and I actually need a little bit more of a border. I just noticed, I think I only cut 1/4 of an inch off of each side, and I needed to do a 1/2 inch. Let me go ahead and we're going to flip this over, and we're going to pull it off this way. I'm so happy I didn't give a measurement and just said the border. All right. Now I'm really glad I didn't gut my paper, because I think it would have been even more difficult to pull that off. I'm going to cut this up just so that I have less adhesive sticking to my cutter. I'll turn it this way, and I'll do that extra 1/4 of an inch. There we go. Okay, let's do our take 2, and then I'm going to check the camera because I just felt the huge shift I made in my Versamats. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're all good now. So I've done a little pre-work for this layout, and I'm gonna give you all the details on that and what I'm using. The first thing is I really wanted to do a nice match. Now, I know melon is not part of this collection, but I really loved it with the sunset, and I ended up liking it. I felt like it was a nice in-between color, and so I used it on the other two layouts as well. So this is our melon that is retiring. It was our color of the year. And I thought it was the perfect balance to bring out those colors. And I'm going to want this to be pretty high up on my page. Okay, so now this is the paper that is really tying all of these together. I gutted this paper in one of the prior videos. Remember, you're watching part 3. And I want to make sure that I include this paper on this layout as well, so that all of them flow together, and I'm using all the same products, all the same colors. So it really does seem like it's more of a 3-page layout than a 2-page layout. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to this. And then I'm just going to take my photo and bring it over. And I don't want the white. That's basically what it is. I'm going to be throwing the rest away. We're going to tear off this portion here at the bottom, and then we're going to do a little tear on that portion at the top, and then we have that striped paper that's on all 3, and it'll help bring these together. It's also going to bring the picture over a little bit more as we begin to add. Okay, this is a piece, and it is 2.5 inches. I'm going to tear off close to 1/2 inch, but I'm going to bring it forward and keep that piece. We're going to need that piece in just a second. So it's about 1/2 inch. We're doing 2 for 1 tearing here. And by bringing it forward, I'm going to show you what we do. Okay, because we have white core paper, when we bring it forward on this piece, we get the white core on this side. But if you cut your piece big enough, you get the white core on the other side too. It's such a great little time saver, and we're going to add a little bit of that right behind there using both of these as well. I do want to see the layering and all that I have here at the bottom. All right. And I'm going to be putting my journaling on top of all of this, but it doesn't mean that I want to miss any of the details. I want to see that frame kind of broken and come around. I'm going to grab my brown, I call this my brown flat because I put it in everything. I just am constantly using it in all the different browns that I use. All right, we'll put that aside. Some scrap paper out of my trash. And just in case if I was in mocha, see how dark that is? I like to just rub it a little bit. And get some of the darker ink off of it before I go into my toffee. I use a lot of mocha, I use a lot of toffee, I go back and forth, and I'm okay if they don't perfectly match. All right, I want to ink this only on the edges for this one. I don't want to ink every single piece, but I also don't want to forget to ink the edges of this. There we go. Even though I'm still going to cover some of that up, I'll come back in and it will remind me when I see the break that I need to ink it as well. Okay, for this, I'm going to do the exact same thing. It's a little bit thinner, so I think I'll try some of my liquid adhesive. Don't need a ton. I'm going to want to be able to tear the top and the bottom again. There we go. I'm going to set that aside and let it dry while I work with some of the other pieces that I have. Okay, on the, I have the one of these zip strips that will be in your kit as well. I love our zip strips. I know people call them, they have all different kinds of names for them, but I only know them as zip strips. And I want to tuck this down to the lowest portion that I'm going to be able to see it. So if you teared a little more heavily or on an angle and you need to go back and do a little bit more, you can do that. All right, I'm going to lift this up just a little bit, which I'm going to fold some of this back anyway, but I'm going to do that. It's just going to help me get it under there a little bit easier. I never use a tremendous amount of adhesive. because I use our memory protectors and they really do protect, they protect it. They do their job. Okay, I'm folding this back a little bit now. I don't want to be able, and you don't have to do the whole thing. I'm revealing some of the wood grain that's on the other side, bringing in our color palette. Just a little bit more, and you don't have to fold every little bit of it. There we go. Okay, for this one here, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna ink that. This is our seashell. We're gonna ink both sides of this. And we're gonna be bringing in some white seashells to match this and bring that in as well. What a beautiful collection this is. I have really enjoyed working with it. And it's so nice to have something that gets some of your scrapbooking done too. So I know I've been enjoying that as well. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna put that down there. And then over here, I also have a piece of the wood grain, and this is much too big and I don't like to waste paper, but I'm going to be doing that 2-for-1 that I'll just use it on another layout for this. So this is 1.5 inches, but if I know I'm going to do the same techniques again and again, and I know that I'm going to be bringing things in, I will often try to make less work for myself. We'll call it that. So I'm just going to bring this down. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm going to ink that as well. I think I have a fly. I don't know where it is, you guys, but we're at the very end of July 2023, and we are getting ready to go into 2 days of over 100-degree heat index here. I am looking forward to being in air conditioning all weekend long. All weekend long. Okay. I'll set that aside and just give it a moment. But I am going to go ahead and we're going to tear off these. All right, and tear off the bottom portion. There we go. And I'm just going to put this aside while we work on our title. What I've done is I have just cut, using some of our thin cuts, I've cut the title out of some almond. Now, I know it says toffee in the kit. I had this almond. It's lighter. You can use toffee. I just grabbed some scraps. The light side of toffee will work well. But I love using our thin cuts in particular with scrap paper. I think it is just such a great way to add a lot of just all kinds of, whether it's stamped images or you're paper piecing or you're adding tags or anything. I love that you can just grab a piece of scrap paper and put it together super quick. I've cut black out 3 times. I want it to have the most dimension. And once again, I got to destash some extra paper. I stacked 2 of them together and they're here. I'm going to put those aside for just a minute. And then I want to bring in this same texture that I used on the other 2 pages. So I have my whole title here, Black Rock. And I'm using that same textured stamp set. I've been getting miles out of this from the Card Workshop for this collection. I have really, and I'm stamping on it with toffee. Look how gorgeous that is. You really get just such, it's just amazing. You get that whole weathered look all at one time. And it doesn't even matter if you get a perfect stamp or if it's slightly on a different angle. It's just, I love it every time. I've been using this more than I thought I would use the thin cuts, the seashell thin cuts the most, and I'll be showing some of those in a few minutes. But actually this stamp is my winner. And it's so nice because you can do this with whatever thin cuts you have. And then also you can change the position of this stamp since it has that nice texture. Okay, and here's the original black that I cut out. And I'm just going to add some glue, liquid glue, so I can kind of slide them around. This will add some depth and dimension to my title. There we go. Just slide them in place. Okay. And I'll be placing the black, which is the one that I've added the extra layers to, also on my on top of my photograph. So that's gonna raise it up even more. And it's going to be going on top of the black portion of the photograph, so it kind of has that double draw. Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and finish this page off, putting in our little finer points. Our ink should be dry now, so should be good to go. I feel like my mat might be a little bit crooked there. There we go. All right, I want to leave a small little bit there at the bottom. I just want to see all the layers. So I'm just going for lots of layers. We're going to put this zip strip on, and this is zip strip brings in the white seashells that we're going to be using when we bring a couple of our embellishments in. Right on top of this wood, with leaving a small gap at the bottom again. So just so that we have lots of different layers and stripes. You can pull that back in a couple of spots, but remember we inked it, so let's not do too much. Bringing all our colors in. That looks really good. We're going to be adding some more. Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this arrow, but I have it. But if we do, we're going to do a shortening technique on it. And oh yeah, this is going to look perfect. Let's go ahead and put our photograph down. Now you can replace this with a couple of 4x6s. I used the light side of the melon for my mat on this. But another thing that you can do is do 3 pictures across, or you could do 4x4s and cover the entire thing. Because your space is completely open. And now you can see that I'm able to put the picture up a little bit higher and it not feel like I have a bigger amount on the sides than I do at the top, to give me more room for where all my stuff is going, because of that little side border that we created. I am so sorry about the fly. It wants attention desperately, doesn't it? Okay. Just in my little pieces case here, and I'm going to grab a couple of things to work with. This is interesting. I shared this in recent video. I have been using the layered flowers, the center of the large layer flowered, for this little guy here, but if you cut it all the way out, it almost looks like a little sea urchin. Okay, and I'm just grabbing some stuff. I want to grab some of those white seashells. I just cut those out of the card making with the card making workshop dies. And I'm just grabbing couple of those, and that I have punched out some of my pieces. That craft came right out of there, so to have that as well. All right, there we go. And then these are, remember, I'm not making the layouts that appear in the guide, but I love the workshop kit because you get these custom papers. I'm going to move this. I just kind of have this sitting here to help me out. That's just a 12x12 I'll reserve for later. All right. And we also have a whole set of stickers. Okay. So these little half circles are part of this kit. And I have some periwinkle standing by here. We're going to do a little bit of ink on a few of these periwinkle ones. Okay. I'm going to be tucking them underneath, so we're just going to ink around a few of these with our periwinkle ink. All right, I did 5 of those periwinkle half circles, inked with a little bit of periwinkle. And then even though these ones are more of the mist and the gray, I did all the same of the periwinkle. Even though these are the mist and the gray, I'm looking for these leaf ones. They have like a little leaf on them. Okay, we're going to use those next. I'm going to grab 3 of those. And I have a feeling I have more than I'm going to need, and that's okay. I might have enough ink right on my sponge. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna want to start with the periwinkle, and then go every other one. I'm only gonna do half of them though, because I'm not sure. We'll leave this one and those 2 over there. I'm not sure how far I'm gonna need to go over. So there's a periwinkle one. I'm just tucking it right underneath. You can see it, and I'm gonna be overlapping. 2 of these, here we go. All right, I'm gonna overlap that one, and then just put this on top and try to keep them level right here at the bottom. Okay, and then a periwinkle. And don't worry about making them even. It's all about the layers. There we go. And I knew I didn't want to go all the way over to my little side strip. Just a little bit. I love it right there. So that's going to be the number that we do. I will put these back for use on some more of these layouts. Okay, I have this, which is going to bring in my melon, and these are from this set right here that I've been using, Cape Cod Collection. That's what I've been working with, and I really love this little guy here. But I want to see if I am going to want to put that on there. It's a little too big. We're going to go ahead and move that to the side. I am not going to want to put my journaling on top of the seashells and stuff like that. I'm going to want to move that around. So I'm going to get these out of the way. Okay, I'm going to lay my journaling out right now and make sure that I'm not going to be blocking anything of importance before I decide where to put the rest of this. When you have a lot of journaling like this and it's going to take up a lot of room, it's kind of hard to, to leave it off. But one of the reasons why, before you put your embellishments on, one of the reasons I have all these different stripes and all these different sizes, because I thought it would really help me bring my journaling in on this layout. And I'm seeing that it is working, but I have a couple of things that I just need to get my spacing down on, and I have to do a title. Okay, so I think I'm going to be bringing this almost like all the way to the bottom, it looks like, because I don't want to miss anything. I'm trying not to cover things up. If I had shaved that just a tiny bit more, but okay, the spacing is looking good. I wish this could go under this. And I don't know that I can slide it under there because I have to fit black rock on here. All right, I'm thinking there. And I might do a little bit of a shift. Okay, I think I'm pretty good with where I'm going. Let me get black on here so we can get this all laid out. Oh, doesn't our title look so good? That texture that we stamped. Here's our black. And I might put the whole thing might actually fit right here. I'm going to see if I like that. There we go. Just change it up. I actually kind of do. I think because it's so black right there and you can see through and it has that texture, it's just going to work for me. So I'm going to be pretty happy with that. I want to go ahead and cut these off because that's going to let us see all that striping on the side. Don't worry about getting them perfect. All right. That's the brown one, and I just want to get a little bit of ink around these. I'm going to go ahead and start putting my my title down so that I can have that. You can use all different types of adhesive to go on top of a photograph, but I'm just going to go with this right here and see how it works. I've never used it on top of a photograph before, so I thought, wow, what a great test. So I'm just going to try. It's a little crooked, and this is why I like liquid adhesive, because we really don't, it's just very slightly. There we go. and we'll see if I like my adhesive on top of this. And while that's going on and drying, I can attach some of my other journaling that I'm going to be working with. I really didn't want to leave out any of the history. That's what this page is about. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a shift so I can do some additional embellishing on this side. And I'm going to shift all of this to the left. Okay, and then over here, this gives me an area to build a little something and not lose my journaling. Okay. This will look really pretty, adding some of the white seashells that are on that bottom portion, and I'm just building my little cluster right now. Okay, I think I'm going to stick with all the white ones. I don't think I need it with that. I think I'm liking this. The only thing I'm questioning is that shell down the bottom. I only want to see a little sneaky peek. That's going to be that. Let's see. That's on there pretty good. All right, we're going to go ahead and add the rest of our title. Just be real careful that you place it down exactly where you want it. Use that stamp pad, and I'm going to let my stamp pad hang out on here for a few minutes while we go ahead and we put our embellishments down. Okay, I'm going to just start with the bottom, and I want these to just be nice and white, so this works out perfectly. There we go. Just going from the bottom up, basically. Oops. Give that a better little push right there. Grab some glue dots for this. And I really just have one at the bottom, and I think that that's going to be fine. This will all be inside of a memory protector, so we will be good to go. I'm going to add a little foam tape to the back of this. Our title is good to go, and I will add my seahorse. Oh, I love that. That looks perfect. I actually do. Perfect. Don't want to add another thing to it. I am going to be adding a little something though, because I have a desire to add some bling. So I am just looking for my pack of bling, and I often have my bling travel. Like if I'm going to use it, I tuck it in with my collections, and I'm looking for a specific pack that hopefully I haven't let travel too far. There we go. Okay. So in here are those periwinkle, one of the colors in the blue pack, and this might be retired, but you might still be able to get them. I'll go ahead and put a link in, but it is the periwinkle. So I'm going to grab nothing but the periwinkle and put periwinkle bling on top of periwinkle. We'll do that one kind of peeking from behind there. That was a large. I'm going to do a medium here and carry that with a little heart above it. Deciding, no, I would like to keep it off. I'm going to go to the smallest heart. Medium dot, smallest heart there. There we go. Right down here, I'm going to add a medium. And then I'm going to grab a medium heart, and I definitely want to put it somewhere in here. Right up in here. I feel like It wants to be up here. Right there. There we go. And I put it on an angle and I kind of wanted it more straight since the seashell is on an angle. There we go. Just a few, there we go. And they're there, you can see them. I love the way this has turned out. This is perfect. I love it. I'm super excited. Okay, so now I'm gonna be doing a technique for this that I wanna share with you, but first I'm gonna go ahead and just push this down. There we go. Look at that. What a great cover page with all the historical facts about this very special and significant location in Maui. Okay. All right, so here's the other portion of my layout. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a 12 by 12 flip flap using our Close to My Heart memory protectors. And I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna work, okay? This is a significant location that I have some details about. I have another significant location that's gonna go right here that I'm gonna blend these colors with. And this will be a 2-page layout. So what that means is, let me grab a page protector. Okay, it means that in this, there's going to be another 12 by 12 layout, and that will sit here, and this will be the right side of the page. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you'll continue to follow me to see this fully completed. All right. But we're going to go ahead and create the magic for this one first. So this is actually the left side of my page. This is the left side of my page, but it is on the right side. This is correct. All right. And then this here is the right side of my page as well. Notice they're both the same direction with the seams in the same. That's correct. Okay, then what I've done is I have folded my memory protector. It is folded, if we're looking at it this way, just before that first dotted line that's right there. And now we're going to grab our scissors and we're going to cut off after the second dotted line. Just take your time, go nice and slowly. Such a great way to just add more and make your scrapbooks fun. I love when people go through my scrapbooks and, you know, they see all the cool things that we've done. All right, so I'm going to get rid of this. And if you want to clean it up, you can clean it up. It's going to take a little while for this to become really, really flat, but they do become flat. Okay, so now we have this tab here. Folded to. Notice it's folded toward my inside page. So folded up on my page. That's super important for this to work. Okay, and now I'm just going to grab some score tape. You could use red line tape as well, and I have this score tape here. I'm going to just move this out of the way to give me some room. This is just a game changer for your scrapbooking. All right, 1/2 inch of score tape. And I'm just going to bring it up. I like score tape. It's pretty clear after it's on. I'm running it right down. It's a little more than 1/2 inch. I had a piece of foam tape hanging out there, sorry. There we go. And we want to make sure that this score tape is adhered really well. So we're going to go ahead and burnish it. Okay. Okay, I'm push this out of the way for just a second. Okay, I'm now bringing in my page. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make sure we're putting it on facing the right way. All right, so make sure you have it facing the right way. And it goes on just like this, lined up. Now, I'm going to rotate. For me, I work better lining things up side to side, holding it like this. Take that into consideration before you put this down, all right? And I just want to bring it over. and make sure you're checking the bottom across the top. I know that's not in the frame. I'm going to touch down just so I can move it. You want to make sure you're checking here, you're checking here, you're checking here before you fully put it down. I've only touched it here and here, but score tape is very strong. And when it looks good, give it a little press and then open it up. And it's really kind of important that you do this now. You want to burnish it again. And for people who have our fabulous, fabulous tool cubby, who actually put their tools back in their tool cubby, congratulations, right? In other words, Tina's turned it. There we go. All right, here we go. We're just going to rub that, rub that, rub that, okay? And I can see that score tape is right there. You know, it's not clear, it's white, but it's not white, but it's not clear. It's like in between, if you will. But if you rub it, it will become a little less visible. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. And here is our page. And now we're going to add our black rock portion right to it that we just did. I'm stuck on something. There we go. Okay, and now we have, this will sit in our book. We'll have another page here. And as you can see, we have this beautiful flip out scrapbooking page. Mine's slightly off. It could be because it's not in, but there you go. Okay, there we go. Not much at all. I had to just roll. And there it is. And now you have this 3-page layout that you can have. And I'm going to do the slice now that it's in here and pull my tags out. I always just kind of grab my scissors. These precision tip scissors are fantastic. And after I get through with a little punch, I'm just lifting a little bit right here. And I'm just riding right along, going nice and soft. Sometimes I'll have to go back and do like a second little run, but it works out great. And I'm just going to reach in and grab our tags. And we'll now just be able to stick them in our pocket and have this fully interactive. I got to remember which one was the pocket, if the pocket was behind the melon or behind this. I don't know which one. Let me try to put one in at a time. Let's see. Not sure which one they were. Let me see. I think I'm sticking. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, we're going to do it this way. I see I have a small little part that didn't cut through. There we go. And there we go. And we have our little turtles back there and everything is good. And you have this really great interactive 3-page layout. I hope you guys like that. Thank you so much for stopping by and letting me create a little bit with you today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. If you found this video helpful, liked it, useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. And if you want to leave me a comment, it goes a long way here on YouTube and it goes a long way with my heart too. All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.